recently I've been asked some questions about whether or not Tailwind is worth it for bloggers. They want to use Pinterest and they want to have a Pinterest marketing plan, and they're not sure if they should also invest in something like a social automation tool like Tailwind, for example, versus just doing it manually. And I have my own review on this. I have my own advice on this. So if you want to know what that is, stick around. I will show you what Tailwind looks like, how to work it, and give you my honest review on it if it's actually worth it right now for bloggers. Because I know there's been a lot of discussion over the recent Google Helpful Content update where, many websites have been demolished and they're not getting any traffic. They're getting no views on their blog posts. And I know for a fact that the easiest way new bloggers can get traffic to their blog is with Pinterest. I am still getting massive views from Pinterest for my sites, and my sites haven't been affected by this recent update, this Google update. And I'm not sure if that's because I'm leveraging Tailwind, I'm leveraging Pinterest marketing, or there's other factors at play. Right now, I do want to show you Tailwind to see if maybe this is a tool that you're interested in. I started using Tailwind pretty much the first closer to the end of the first year of twins mommy. I really wanted to start on Pinterest and I needed a tool. Heard about Tailwind. That's when I sort of jumped on board of this and started using it more frequently, and I found massive gains using Tailwind. So let me show you Tailwind and what it looks like. So here is what my Tailwind looks like in my home right now. And it basically gives you just a snapshot of what's going on. You can click onto these places here to create a post, to use their Ghostwriter AI, and to create a plan, a marketing plan, which I've already done. They also show you just at a glance your schedule of what you've been pinning. I use Tailwind for multiple profiles. So I have pins for Twins Mommy, for Smart Mom Ideas, and for other profiles here. I can take a look at that. I can also view my Smart Loop post here. So I still use Smart Loop. It's a really new feature that I'll tell you about later. But here is at a glance my marketing plan. It's free to use once you sign up to Tailwind and you want to start using Tailwind. You can create a marketing plan based on the questions that they ask you. And so this can help me just get some ideas of what I want to share. Like I think on my calendar, it says educate my followers here, and on Friday, behind the scenes, Saturday, lifestyle content, things like that, where I can share on Instagram or Facebook, do an email perhaps on a Friday. These are things that I could look at if I get writer's block, for example, or if I'm stuck. I can just come here and be like, what can I share on Instagram today? Because that can help me. I personally have a problem with Instagram, and so I tried scheduling Instagram ideas and things like that, and it does help to a point. So from here, if you want to look more of your analytics, you can go to Insights and see what is happening here. So like I have my impressions. Right now, they're sort of like on a downward trend here. My pin profile, usually I'll have something here, but sometimes it's a little robust, this analytics thing here, my profile performance. So I don't look too much into it nowadays, but it just gives me a quick snapshot of what I want to see. I can also look at board insights to see what my recent trending boards are. So this can give me some ideas of what boards really work for me. And it looks like these ones are great ones to keep at it. And then these ones as well. I have a pin inspector. I personally don't use it too much, but I may look at it here and there just to make sure that, what is popping right now. I can usually tell on Pinterest what is popping, but this can just give me a quick snapshot of what's going on here, especially for by board. I can look at by board to see the successful ones, and that can help me if I need to remove boards or not. And then on website insights, if you connect it to your website, you can sort of see some impressions, which again, I don't look too much into that. Pins from domains, I can see my top pins from my site. So that's good to know. And then of course they have a top pin to tell me what my top pins are, but I can also check that on Pinterest too, and on Google Analytics. Those are a bit more better analytics than the ones on Tailwind. But again, you can, if this is all you have and you don't want to set up your Google Analytics, or if you don't want to, invest in Pinterest marketing, their analytics platform, it's just another way to look at your pins to see what's resonating. Maybe you really want to look at your saves count, and this can give you just a snapshot. Versus on Pinterest, I mean, I have to click on every pin to get this metric. So I can just get it all here, which is kind of nice too. How do you schedule your pins? What do you do? I personally still use the original publisher, but what you can do, what I typically do, so if I go to my blog, I can pin this, right? This is work from home. I have a board that's mine. I'm gonna pin that. And so just on my profile here, I can just pick one. This has 5 clicks, so I can schedule this here. Just in this method, I can pick the boards that I want to put this in. So I will say this one and that one, and then schedule now. That's how I would do it. Just pick a couple of pins and do that. And if I go to home, refresh it, you can see that it's already scheduled now for Thursday and Friday, all of this. But I do want to make sure that I'm not spamming my audience with the same pin over and over again. So I'm going to make sure to shuffle this. And so I can just move it around here if I wanted to. But the easiest way is just in the original publisher, you can just click a button there here to shuffle the queue. So I'll just shuffle the queue and it has that. So I need to have more pins to shuffle with because I just have that one that I shared here. So I would do probably like 5. So let me go. All right, so I scheduled those pins. I refreshed my Tailwind here and I had, I think, 63 scheduled. Now I have 189 scheduled. So I'm just going to shuffle the queue here just to make sure everything is shuffled. There we go. So I have some for the next couple days here. My schedule, I only schedule about 20 pins a day here, 24, 24, 20, 19, 19. So it's about 20. And with your schedule, Tailwind will start putting their recommendations for scheduling. Like this one is a suggested time slot that I should add to this one here. These ones are suggested time slots. So the ones that I have 19, I can add this one at 10 o'clock. So I'll add that one now, that's at 20. You can add this one here at 20 and go from there. You can build off what Tailwind suggests based on your audience. So you would have to do some pinning and put in your own slot for sure in the beginning. And then over time, it will create your schedule. So I would definitely follow what Tailwind recommends because they know when viewers see your pins more when it's more active on your account. So I would definitely do that. Usually pinners like to pin at night, usually on the weekend, a little bit more here. So it all depends on your audience. So you can be a bit more strategic on the weekends for your pinning schedule. But yeah, Tailwind will help you with that. And then you can create board lists. I use board lists still to this day, the ones that I've created. And so all you do, you can add to create a list. You can call it what you want. This is just a sample. And then you can, whatever boards you have on your profile, if they're group boards or your own boards, you can see that Blogger Tips is my own board. I can just add it there. The ones in blue are your own boards. The one in green are group boards. And so I do have specific group boards that still work for me. If I'm deleting group boards on my profile, I have to come back here and delete them here. Or Tailwind will just schedule it and it'll just become, there's a problem, and it'll just go into my draft section here. So that's how I use Tailwind. I mean, I go more into it in, my course Ready Set Blogger Traffic, but that's basically what I've been doing. I also use Tailwind communities. So I will send my pins to Tailwind communities, or that's the only thing that I will do. So I can show you that. So if I wanted to send my new pin to Tailwind communities, I would just click on the Tailwind button here and then click on the communities here. This is where I can see where I can add it. Work from home setup ideas. I can do a work from home one, which I haven't pinned to recently. And then some other ones like mom bloggers, blogging success, and then click. Based on my plan, I have unlimited submissions for communities. So I try to use this as much as I can. You can also add it to a smart loop. So if this becomes a popular pin, you can just send it to the smart loop that you've already set up, or it would probably prompt you to set up a new one. And then you can cross post it and schedule it in your draft, schedule it from your draft gallery to Facebook or Instagram. So that's pretty cool. I primarily just add it to communities, and I don't add it to Smart Loop unless it's specifically intended for my smart loop. I have pins that do well and then seasonal pins. So that's how I would schedule for Tailwind communities. Over on my profile, you can see communities here. You can join communities for free. There's a limit, but based on what you sign up for, you can add more. You can create your own community as well. So here I get a little snapshot that I had 38 new reshares from my pins, which is pretty cool. Like, I'm excited about that. It tells you based on your pins how it's doing well, that your results here that I've had over 1,000 reshares and it's reached over 17 million views. You definitely want to get into these groups, that will do well and benefit you for your pins. You can find a community here, or you can, like I said, make your own. I have all of these here, and I can go and also pin from here. So if this is sort of like a catch-all one, so I'd have to find one that is good for my profile, which right now it's basically blogging stuff. So if I wanted to use these pins and schedule them, since it tells the people here, your performance here. When I'm in the red, I haven't been sharing as much. I just want to make sure that I'm sharing. So I'll just type in like blog and then get content specifically about blogging. And then I can just add it to my queue there. So I can do that. I can spend like 5 to 8 minutes just going through. It doesn't take long, especially ones that are just specific to blogging. It's very easy to pick ones. Of course, you want to pick ones that, are highly shareable and that your audience would value as well. Now, you don't have to do this for your Pinterest marketing strategy. Just realize that Pinterest doesn't care what you pin. You can pin 100% your content, which I have been doing for many years, but every now and then I will reshare these pins because of my Tailwind account. I want to be an active participant in the Tailwind communities. And so for that, I need to make sure that I'm resharing that content. So that's part of one of the features of using Tailwind. And I said, the other one was Smart Loop. So with Smart Loop, if we go down to the original publisher, you can see the Smart Loop up here on top. So right here is your Smart Loop, but I have one just for bullet journal and I have one for work from home. So these are the ones that I have scheduled, and it's just been going on and on and on. I can update this with other pins that are doing better. I mean, these are all from when I set up years ago, and they're still highly relevant. I still want to send traffic to these OG pins that I have, basically. But I like Smart Loop, especially for my lifestyle blog. So if I have one for Valentine's Day, one for like the holidays, things that are for the fall, spring, Easter, things like that. So it makes it easy to just set it and forget it, so that Tailwind starts pumping out those pieces of content when the time and the season comes. So that's really nice with using Tailwind, and I like that since I have multiple platforms. Another great thing is if you are a blogger with more than one blog, you can have more than one Pinterest profile and then add it to your Tailwind. I mean, that's what I have. I have all of my ones here. That's great. And then if you want to look at how to create a pin using Tailwind Create, I can show you quickly. All you got to do is upload a photo, or you can go to the site and pick from the photos there. So we'll try this one here. Okay, so for this one, I have 11 top things to sell on Etsy, and then it creates these pins here. I can click on the images and then it will use them in here. So I have like, these are mine that I paid for, so I can use these ones and then do like that. What's nice about this option is that you can have sort of unique styled pins that I would never design pins this way, but you can go and edit it. So if you think like the images are quite small here, you can change it and focus on, what you want to, especially with like the title, you want to make a nice big title here. So something like this might work. I can go and edit it. I don't know why it says Sponge Hacks for some reason. It's Twins Mommy. I can also change this. So remove that, and then I can make this bigger, and then just have fun with what I have here. So I'm just basically trying to create what I've been seeing on my regular pins, so I can just sort of do something like that. I can also change the color, make it white, make this color a little bit darker. And so something like that could work. I can also make this my URL, change the font, all of that stuff. So save and go back. So I can just do something like that, and that's nice. And then I can use that for my Pinterest marketing strategy. So I can spend some time, if you're in a hurry, just pick what goes well here. You can also go here with the color palettes and just make sure that you want to use one that's more for your brand. So if I want to use something like that, it pops a little bit more. I have blue and pink, and then these are just alternate colors. I have a deeper purple, but this could work as well. So things like that, you want to just there's lots to choose from here. Sherbet, that might be nicer too. So it just makes your pins pop, and then you can, as you're scrolling, you can be like, oh, this caught my attention, I'll use this one. This one caught my attention, I'll use that one. So you can see you can do it that way as well. So I like this option. It's easy to get what I need, and then I could also just, if I wanted to do stories, then I can add it to my stories or my feed posts. If I want to have something quick for Instagram, then I can do this and share my tips and stuff with a cool little graphic that, maybe not many people have used. All right, so that's how I would use Tailwind Create. I don't use it very often, but every now and then I will use it just to create a whole bunch of pins this way, just to have a different design, because sometimes having an off-brand, off-design look can really help get more clicks to your site. I find so I use this sparingly. I also like the ones that have no pictures. It's just like a graphic, like a color with the title. That sometimes works too. So it's just playing around. Of course, I already have something for you as bloggers. I have my, stylized Canva Pin Templates. So if you want something a bit more stylized, a little bit more for your brand, you can definitely, download those pins and start using that on Canva. So yeah, I primarily use Canva, but this is a nice alternative if I'm in Tailwind, because sometimes I can spend a good chunk of time in here just getting everything scheduled, looking at my communities, and then looking at the create option. And then the last thing that's recent is the Ghostwriter AI. I did a video on that, so make sure you check that out, but I can show you here quickly. The Ghostwriter AI right here is really cool if you are stuck for just certain things, and it's for everything. It's for in the Instagram caption. You created a post under create, and now you can have the caption to go with it. You can even do email subject lines. Here's SEO website keywords, which is kind of cool. I haven't used this. What's the industry or niche? I can say, so moms make money from home, and then I can do mom bloggers, and then I can generate, let's see what it gives me. Of course, I would definitely use an SEO tool. That's what they do. But this could be just for someone who is just starting out and they need just ideas. This can totally help you. So high value keywords and then long tail keywords. How easy is that? You can create 10 blog posts from here and another 10 blog posts from here. So, that's pretty cool. There's some really cool SEO things that you can use, as well as some descriptions and titles for these social platforms. Now, I do like Jasper AI for that, but if I'm in a pinch, like I said in my video for this, talking about Ghostwriter AI, I could definitely use this for sure if I'm in a pinch. And it's fast. It generates it pretty fast. Here's from idea to full article. This is something new I haven't used, so you can create a whole blog post. So it's really just trying to incorporate what, they see people use ChatGPT, Jasper, and they try to have it just everything here under Tailwind. So, that is pretty cool. You don't have to pay for extra tools. You can just invest in Tailwind, and it can help you with a lot of your marketing strategy. So my thoughts, my honest review is, I primarily use it for the scheduling aspect of it, and it hasn't hurt me at all. I was scheduling, in the very beginning, many years ago, 5+ years ago, I was scheduling probably 40 or 50 pins per day. I've now lowered that to, you saw, 20 pins a day. So the same with my sponge hacks profile, I'm only pinning no more than probably 5 pins a day. So you don't need to pin a lot, but using Tailwind, you can fluctuate and add and remove. Obviously the more pins that you sort of share with your audience, if you have enough pins to share with your audience, that's a good thing. I don't think 20 is a lot in a day. You have 24 hours in a day, and people have they're in different time zones. But each profile I have is different. I use it differently based on the audience and what I'm getting in return. Definitely when you start using Tailwind, set it up and then take some time. It'll take some time, maybe 30 days to really know your profile and your audience, but just schedule those pins so that you don't have to worry about them. You can just create the content and move on in your business. So that's what I really like about Tailwind, and it's helped me with growing my audience. I mean, we can see here in my Google Analytics, search still dominates, but I have social right here, and I know for a fact it's mostly Pinterest. I don't really market too much on other platforms, so this is primarily Pinterest here. It's helped me with getting just more traffic to my site overall, especially for my niche website. My niche website still is primarily Pinterest, and it takes a while for SEO to kick in. I always do this for my all my blogs. I start on Pinterest, get that initial boost of traffic. It could take up to 6 months to a year or more. And then SEO slowly comes in. That could take up to 2 years to really get in a good enough traffic to get people coming to your site. It always flip-flops, probably in around year 2 or 3 if you're consistent. My niche website, I am ranking for keywords, but it's not bringing in the amount of traffic that I would get from Pinterest still. So it does take some time for that to flip flop or whatever. But yeah, that's where Tailwind helps me the most with just like setting it and forgetting it. I have so many profiles that I can just let it sit. And especially with Twins Mommies, my, other big profile, I have it under Tailwind, and I do manual pinning, not very often, and it's still working for me. I'm still bringing in that initial traffic. I still have lots of legacy pins that are going out there, and I know for a fact that people are viewing them and coming to my site. If you're interested in learning more about Tailwind, make sure to check out my blog post. I do give a review on the platform. You can check that out. And there's a link in there so you can sign up for your first 300 pins to schedule out, which, if you only schedule out 20 a day, you have it for a couple of days to just get an idea of how your return is going to be on that. Right, so make sure you check out that blog post. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Make sure to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this. I'll see you in the next